Now, listen to me, guys. On your paper, there are certain things that I'm trying to teach you. You will never, when you get to advanced math, have two signs. You'll never have a plus and a minus ever. So I don't teach it kind of this way. So what I'm going to ask you to do is rewrite number 1 for me. You're going to rewrite number 1 as -5 minus 6. There are no two negatives, or there are no two signs. All right? It's only one sign. If you have a positive and negative, it always makes a what? It always makes a negative. That's correct. So essentially what I'm telling you is these two signs next to each other make that negative. Is everybody good with that? And now it's just, hey, you owe your mom 5 and you owe your dad 6. That means you owe what? You owe 11. So here we go. -11. All right, -11. Yes.
Is it okay if we know how to do it with normal things?
I don't know what you mean.
Like we use like one of the
No, I really don't want you doing that. All right, now listen. If you do that, it's really not a big deal. But I'm just telling you, trust me with all my, it's better not to do plus minus. I promise you. It's much better. All right. Now, if you're not understanding what I'm saying here as far as -5 minus 6, I would just want you to know that's obviously -11. I don't want you, thinking about it. I always tell kids you should always think in terms of money. All right. That's generally the way it helps. All right. Yes. You owe, you see what I'm saying? Think about it like this. You owe your mom 5, you owe your dad 6. So you owe 11. All right, the more you owe, you add. Okay? So let's take a look at number 2. Let's see. I definitely don't want to confuse you. All right, so let's double check this. All right, number 2, I really want you to write it as just what? Now, why do I think I tell you to do it that way? Because you've been doing 14 minus 5 since you were probably 5 years old. And I have people who miss 14 plus -5, honestly. Well, that's why I tell them, do not do it that way. You have to understand the numbers. You're not memorizing what about the signs. You have $14, you give away 5. That means you have how many? 9, guys. Yes. Yeah, yes, yes. All right, on the next assignment, they're going to have double negatives. Double negatives just mean what? Just means positive. Yes, ma'am. I want you to rewrite it for now. And then when you get down to the bottom problems, you can just write the answers. All right? But I want you to make sure you understand what I'm telling you. All right? After we get through the lesson, if you want to think about the numbers a different way, that's fine. Because by the time you're out of here in 8th grade, I'll be saying the same thing for 3 years. When you're in 8th grade, we're not going to say, what is 14 plus -5? No one says that. All right? No one. All right? Your number is not positive and negative. It's positive what? Or negative. It's not both. All right? So let's look at number 3. Do I have to rewrite that one at all? No, because there's only the two signs with both numbers. So what is -18 plus 11? What's -18 plus 11? -7. Right? If you owe your mom $18 and you have 11, you got to pay your mom back the $11. Now you're still going to owe her what? You're still going to owe her 7. All right? That's all I think about. Always think about money. Yeah, and this one's amazing. People actually miss this. All right? Because of the signs, right? You should just write that as what? 16, which is 3. There you have it. That's how I want. Are they okay with that? All right, here we go. A football team gained 6 and lost 10. So how do I represent that? Gain 6 would be what? Positive 6 or just 6. If you want to just write 6, that's okay. You lost 10, so that would be what? Minus 10. So you're supposed to be able to tell me what's 6 minus 10. Just you would tell me -4. -4. Everybody okay with that? Yes, ma'am.
So if the small number is the bigger number is greater.
What we say, that's why I tell you, think in terms of money. If you have in your hand $6 and you owe me 10,
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? That's why I don't tell kids, here's what the rule is. If the signs are different, you subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. 10 is larger than 6, so it'd be negative. But that's memorizing. You should just understand what I'm saying. If you have $6 and you give me 10, there's no way you can do that.
Yeah.
So you have to owe me some money. All right? You guys know about that. All right? So what happens if your the temperature of Roxford, Illinois was minus 3 degrees and the temperature rose 3 degrees? What would be the temperature? That's exactly right. So I'd hope everybody would write 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty good. All right. Now for number 7, what two numbers should I add first?
You should do 7.
And? Yes, because those do what to each other? Yeah, so your final answer is just what? 14. Okay, so number 8, I would want you to rewrite number 8 as 11 minus 2 minus 10. That's how I'd want you to do it. Yes, ma'am. See how easy that is, right? It's very easy. Very easy. All right? So that's equal to negative 1. Don't be afraid to ask me something. No, seriously. Tell me. Yes, I can do that for you. You see what I was saying to do first? The negative 7 and the plus 7 make what? There you go. Now, if you did negative 7 plus 14, you would get 7. And then 7 plus 7 is still what? Still 14. Good.
Whenever it has the parentheses, is that mean how to rewrite it?
But in a minute, though, in your head, I would want you to just say, that just means 11 minus 2.
Yeah.
See what I mean? That's why I tell kids, you've been doing 11 minus 2 literally since probably you're 5 years old. Why would you want to do 11 plus negative 2? You see what I mean? You've been trained for so long. It's always just plus or minus. Yeah, it really does make more sense. Okay? Let's look at number 9 now. Let's rewrite this. This would just be negative 5 plus 4 minus 5 plus 3. Does anybody have any objections to that? Everybody's good? All right. Tell me. Yep. Tell me what negative 5 plus 4 is. Look how simple, simple, simple. Is everybody okay with this? Everybody good? Everybody good? Right? Okay, so your homework, or not homework, it's just classwork today because you're going to get it done. All right? But you can't be done until after you've what? You have to check, guys. That's why you have your iPad. You can double click or you can leave it open and just, if you want, you can check. I don't personally like to check every problem because sometimes I see the number that's next. Right? So I try to do like 5 in a row and then I check those 5. Because the worst thing I tell kids is if you're making a mistake, you don't want to do 30 problems and realize you made a mistake and now you're going to go back and fix them all. All right? That's why I really would appreciate if you would take my advice, do 5 problems, then correct them, do 5 problems, correct them. Yes, ma'am.
After the first page, can you stop writing it?
You can just now write down the answers. If you're smart enough to look at that and tell me what the answer is, that's what I want. But that's why I'm telling you to check your work. Because if you make a bunch of mistakes and you don't check your work, you're not going to know you're making mistakes. All right? So please, I'm telling you, best advice, check your work. That way you know if you're doing it right. You haven't wasted your time. And it's on your iPad. You can just double click and everything's good. All right? When I call your name, I want you to come to my desk and I'll give you a homework back.